allowed to tell? And these are my grandchildren. Well, you have already been told by others that we are not just here to mourn the death of a noble man who I am very proud to tell you was my husband. I and all my grandchildren and even my daughters, we are here to thank God that we were allowed the privilege of being his family, of living in his shadow, and all of us were influenced by his very high, noble standards. I'm not sure it was actually said to you that his father was the first KO to convert to Christianity. A great thing in those days. He worked for Europeans. He learned that Europeans eat food that Africans can't eat. But he also learned that if he grew that food, and if in his lorry he took that food to the European schools and sold it, and to the European shops, for Europeans only, because Africans can't eat all those funny things, not in those days, he could make money. With that money, he not only educated each one of his own children, he educated the children of his brothers and sisters and of his wife's family. He educated every child he could educate. His mother, as you have already been told, was a charitable institution by herself. He had two noble parents. When my husband started thinking about politics, a European in Eldoret said to him, if you are only half as good as your father, you will be a noble man. And my husband aspired to being as good as his father. And I am here to tell you, he was a noble man. And now I'm going to tell you a story that you'll never hear from anybody. I took my children to the French school, and there was a very poor Indian lady whose husband was an accountant in the French school. And I made friends with her, because I always made friends with everybody who wanted to be friends with me. One day she came to me and she said to me, I have a terrible problem. My mother in Pondicherry has died. My father is dead. My crippled sister has nobody to look after her, and nobody in Kenya will give me a visa to bring my sister here so I may take care of her. I told the story that evening to my husband. He said, send the husband of that lady to me. I did. The next day, I am told by the lady herself, that poor man who was on a very low salary, who had no diplomatic status, came to my husband's office, a poor and humble man. My husband took his hand, took him down to another office in Yayo House and said, that man must be helped now. You all know my husband, and you all know what that now meant. The next day, the lady came to the French school with a little Indian scarf, and she gave it to me, and I have still got that scarf, because I shall never forget how good a man my husband was. He never prided himself on his good deeds. He never tried to take advantage of his connections. He never threw names. He was a humble man. And as a humble man, Kenya will remember him, and I hope forever appreciate him. I can see that even here in this church, I am surrounded by people of all African tribes, even Tanzania, of all races, of all religions, because everybody has come to honor his memory. So many people in this country and also elsewhere have benefited from his kindness, most of all me, my grandchildren. We have benefited from his wisdom, and everybody who came across him will tell you from his moral support. I am thanking God for the privilege of having been his wife. I am now the mother, the grandmother, the great-grandmother of his offspring. And look what is standing behind me. Look how proud I am of them. I hope I shall always merit this honor. Thank you.